Hello everyone, welcome back to F1 2021, my team, career mode. Today we are doing the Mexican Grand Prix. Really good race here. Apparently my body decided that I needed to stretch right then and there.
Here we go then. It's time to race in Mexico City, a place which gave Honda their first ever victory back in 1965. American Richie Ginther won from third on the grid. And what are the Honda-powered cars this year? Well, Red Bull have been going strong here in recent seasons, so can they keep that record going today? We're a long way above sea level here in Mexico today, which could pose some cooling issues for the cars as they make their way around this 2.6-mile lap. 17 corners with top speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, and watch out for potential overtaking into turns 1 and 4. Alongside me once again for coverage of today's race, it's none other than the great Anthony Davidson. Let's have a chat about McLaren. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Tsunoda, Max Verstappen and Leclerc, Ricciardo, James, Gasly and Esteban Ocon, Fernando Alonso, Norris, Lance Stroll and Raikkonen, Sainz, Matsushita, Antonio Giovinazzi and Nicholas Latifi, Russell, Vettel, Mick Schumacher. They've taken a grid penalty, and Nikita Mazepin. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So I actually qualified P5, but I got a 5-place grid penalty because I changed the engine component. But that is 5 red lights. And away we go. So we get an amazing start here. I know it doesn't look it. We're sticking behind Leclerc. We end up actually doing just try and get ahead of Leclerc, but he ends up closing that area for us. So we're just forced to stick behind him. And what happens here? Oh, it is 3 wide into turn 1 with Daniel Ricciardo and Charles Leclerc continuing to be 3 wide. And Ricciardo just gets pushed out, and so does Leclerc, and that is that is one of the Aston Martins. I'm going to say no, it is not an Aston Martin. It is AlphaTauri of Pierre Gasly. I think it might be Yuki Tsunoda. But we also just went side by side with Sergio Perez and got the position at his home Grand Prix. I felt so bad for that one, but some things just have to be done for a good result. Now this is a 2-stop strategy. We're going on softs to mediums to softs. Here at lap 5 we have got DRS and all that drag reduction comes in again. They're going side by side, wheel to wheel with Yuki Tsunoda around the chicane. We end up getting ahead. Lap 6. This is basically where the little fight comes in every lap. Yeah. Easy defense there. Not much to talk about, but still, just kind of shows you what's happening. Lap 7 now. Yuki Tsunoda is coming straight back at us again. Go defensive. He goes offensive. Whoa, cutting that one close. We get ahead just ever so slightly there. Lap 8 now. He's going to try it again. He gets ahead of us actually earlier than normal this time. So I do not dive around on the inside there, but I do a little switcheroo. Squeeze him out. A little bit of contact was had there. No one actually got a warning for it, and no one got damage, so it wasn't a big deal. Lap 10 now. We are coming in for our first stop of 2 on to the medium tyres. We've also got Leclerc and Daniel Ricciardo behind us. It's another bad animation. Not bad animation, bad cinematic, where we're inside a body that time. Didn't just look at his arm, we checked in his arm. We come out behind Tsunoda. Here, Charles Leclerc was actually about to overtake me, but he couldn't because of yellow flags, because Lando Norris had a technical issue with his car. I was quite thankful for that technical issue because it really helped us out, because we were about to get overtaken by a Ferrari. All the other people have come in for their second stop. They've gone on to another set of softs. Sergio Perez behind us now. Honestly, thought he might have had a bit of a move there. That's why I did kind of turn in a bit too much. I realised he wasn't coming in for a move, so I just kind of turned in too much. Here, he comes at us again into turn 1. Easy defence again, but he's still with us. Going into the second part of that corner, and we lose him in the third. Next, lap 14, we have actually Mazepin. He hasn't come for a stop, but he just lets us by here. I don't think it was meant to be the game letting him get us by. I think that was him meant to be going defensive, but that car just was not doing anything. Mick Schumacher now do one of my favourite moves that I did this Grand Prix. Such a late break into that corner, and it was 100% success rate. It is
available
solid move. Here Gasly on the soft tyres actually gets ahead of us.
Understood, copy that.
Makes sense. We're basically on par with the AlphaTauri cars, apart from engine. Apparently we have a better engine. Don't know what that was. I'm not sure how we had a better engine though. Really confused. But there, late break again. But with Gasly actually fighting us, we're able to we get ahead of us again. But what I was saying is that we were able to use him to basically get closer to Tsunoda, which is like a pretty good deal. I wasn't complaining. It is now lap 26. We come in for our final stop off the race onto a used set of softs. It is a pair of softs that I used in quali. I did try and do a one-stop strategy. Sorry, I'm just opening up a Red Bull. I was trying to do a one-stop strategy. There's a decent animation. You can't really see what happened, but I did do a lap on mediums. And so it forced me to put on the mediums, and I couldn't do one stop with mediums. So I went for the 2-stop. And Leclerc actually gets ahead of us. Lap 28 now. You're going to see this lap in full because it is actually ends up being the fastest lap of the race. So we get DRS on Leclerc. Side by side there, but we end up getting ahead of him just enough so we can end up just going straight back to the racing line. Continuing on now, we have DRS again because it's one of those DRS zones. You have it in the first zone, you have it in the second zone. So we now got DRS. We are now using the slight slipstream that we're going to be getting from Perez to boost that speed just that extra bit. They were pretty good braking there. It wasn't a late break, it wasn't an early break, it was just a nice break. There you can see we are really cutting it close with the curbs there. Obviously, if you haven't played F1 2021, those curbs are lethal. They're going really fast around these corners, which I was very surprised at rewatching this because I suck at those corners. There, late break into the hairpin now. We are actually gaining on Perez quite a bit, but still not enough to catch him at the end of the lap. We carry on through. And we set the fastest lap of the race right there. I think it's a 1:15.7. Lap 30 now. We do the late break on Perez. I don't think any driver expects it, but we end up going wide because that was like a late break. So we go wide. It wasn't that big of a deal. We already were ahead. Lap 34 now. We've got Yuki Tsunoda ahead of us. dive on the inside. He leaves us room. Quite glad he leaves us room, because if we didn't, it was straight into the side of him. But we are now trying to catch Gasly with 2 laps to go. So you know, doesn't happen. We are not able to catch Pierre Gasly, especially with these tyres. I think these tyres are about on par now. But I have like the confidence that as if he was fresh. But they weren't. Lap 36 then. We're about the same gap from Gasly, and we come home P5. You can see all the other cars passing us, and Mick Schumacher actually gets driver of the day.
Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
So here you see the rivalry between me and Stroll. He was probably the best one that I could pick, but we're not actually that far from him, about 9 away. We actually get to acclaim level 9 and team acclaim level 14 from that race. Pretty good. We're close to getting our 3rd sponsor. And when it comes to Cacchino, we got 419k from our sponsors. Nice amount. I had 10k damage, he had 25k damage, so we get 65k. Still pretty good. We end up going up to 6.22 million total cash. But that does conclude today's episode of F1 2021. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all for the next Grand Prix, which is the Brazilian Grand Prix. Very interesting one. I can't wait for you guys to be able to see it. Goodbye.